Hey, good morning, Indiantown. It's Tony Z, and today I'm here with Scott Watson, and we're going to discuss the Indiantown Community Athletics Association.
Well, Tony, thank you very much for coming out this morning. We just wanted to interact with the community and tell them what we've got going on at Indiantown Community Athletics Association. First, I'd like to go back and explain a little history of how we came to be. As part of the incorporation process, and one of our promises to the village of Indiantown, to the people of Indiantown, was to reignite youth sports in Indiantown. So with that said, myself and several others formed the Indiantown Community Athletics Association to be an umbrella organization to help facilitate and finance, fund the local youth athletics. So with that said, we launched about 3 years ago, and we started bringing sports back to Indiantown. We have our own soccer program now. We've had basketball. We've been working on baseball. We even started volleyball, and right now we've got spring football going. And I have to say that I'm very proud to say that the Thunderbirds have won their first games coming out. They won both games this past weekend, so everybody's quite excited about that. But what we're looking for now is every year we do an annual fundraising drive to raise funds to operate ICAA. With that said, we approach many of our large businesses and so on and so forth. And now I'm making a plea to the public that if you wish to participate in helping ICAA and the youth in Indiantown, that you donate to our organization so that we can supply the necessary equipment and the fees necessary to facilitate sports in Indiantown.
Okay. So I understand that you're using a particular model.
Yes, Indiantown Community Athletics Association is modeled after the Jupiter DeQuesta Athletics Association, which is probably the most successful athletic association you'll find anywhere in the state of Florida and nationwide. They use a form or a model where JTAA handles all the sports in the village or city of Jupiter, and they work in concert with the city of Jupiter to make that happen. That's how we modeled ICAA, Indiantown Community Athletics Association, to do the same function. The idea was that all volunteer organization like ICAA would coordinate, put on the sports, and so on and so forth, hopefully with the help of the village of Indiantown from a funding standpoint. I know that the village right now is discussing taking over youth sports in some manner, and I hope and pray that they use the what I call the JTAA model, the Jupiter DeQuesta Athletics Association model, because it is the most efficient, gives you the best bang for the buck, and is actually the least problematic would be the least problematic for the village of Indiantown. So with that said, I look forward to the village increasing its participation. I think that'll be a great thing. I hope they use what I call the JTAA model, which is what ICAA follows as well. Stay tuned. I think in the next 6 months we'll know which way the village is going to go or what form that they want it to take. But the good thing is, I think there's good news on the horizon.
That's great to hear. How long has this model been in practice?
Well, the JTA model has been in practice since the 60s. Like I say, Jupiter DeQuesta Athletic Association is probably the most effective, well-run organization I've ever seen. And matter of fact, Jeff Leslie, who used to own the water and sewer and the telephone company here in town, ran JTAA for 9 years. So he was very well versed in how it operates. And we most recently had a meeting with Jeff Leslie, myself, the village staff, and Russ Ruskin from the town of Jupiter, discussing the model and why it works so well. And I'm really hoping that our village council gets an opportunity to hear from these folks and talk about the model, and we move forward in that direction. That is what I pray for.
So is there an advantage to the city council in going this route?
I would absolutely believe so, because the last thing you want is, if the village was to totally control sports, I can imagine with a mother or father calling them on a Saturday night complaining that their child didn't get to play in a game or so on and so forth. Using the JTA model, sports are absolutely run by one organization, and should there be a phone call like that, they're immediately referred back to the, in this case, would be ICAA, that we handle, and we have protocols to handle every situation. We have standard operating procedures and so on and so forth. So whether it's ICAA or another organization that the village chooses to work with, and that's, like I say, I pray they follow that model. I believe that is the way to go. It alleviates a lot of problems for the town council, for the village itself, and the money, you're not paying employees. All the money that would be allocated would go directly to funding youth sports and not paying payrolls.
On the subject of money, Scott, you know me, I'm very conscious of stewardship and getting the most out of the dollar that we're given. Many people in the community are going to recognize that there is a stigma attached to these sports associations about the controlling of the funds. Is there a safety check in place with this model that you have?
Well, that's a good point, Tony. And many times in the past, I think what has happened in particular Indiantown is just been a lack of accountability, where the books weren't kept properly, or so on and so forth. And that, of course, that raises questions about where did the money go. For example, JTAA model, or the ICAA, Indiantown Community Athletic Association, we have a treasurer, we have an accounting firm, we keep our books. Our books are done, the accounting's done, we report to the IRS, and then our books are also audited, and those are available for anybody to review at any time when each year is done.
Okay.
We keep it open to the public, so anybody has any questions where the money came from or where it goes, we can provide that, and we want that to be very open, so that there is no finger pointing, what happened to this, what happened, That's why we're trying to keep it a very clean and accountable operation, and that's very, very important going forward, because the people that donate money to you want to know it goes for what they've been told it's going for.
Absolutely. So would this be an LLC organization, a 501c?
It'll be a 501c incorporation. Well, that's what we are. That's what Jupiter Quest Athletic Association is, and like I say, I hope that's what the Village of Indiantown goes with that model.
Okay. Well, Scott, I want to thank you for your heart for the kids in this community, and trying very hard to make the money go the farthest that we can possibly get it to go. Thank you for your help and your activity.
Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to brighter days ahead. Thank you.
All right, Indiantown, let's watch for a follow-up on this. This is good news.